are. Welcome, Instagram, episode 225. Facebook is here. YouTube is here. Good evening. Welcome to episode 225 of Wise Advice, and we'll get started in just a minute, I should say. Waiting for all of you to check in. Denise checks in first on Instagram. Good evening to you. Here's what we'll do. We'll go through. We'll do some introductions, say hello, and then we'll get into the live recording of episode 225. And then after the show, we'll hang out for a little bit, and we'll just go from there. Shannon checks in from Denver. Good evening to you. Marsha's here. I see that. Denise, of course, I got you from San Diego. Becky's here. Says, hey. Mandy's here. Good evening to you. Hope all is well. Let's see. Wendy checks in. Hello. Not long, and Wendy will be driving out to Indianapolis. Woohoo! Can't wait for that. Diane's here. Let's see. Karen checking in from Long Island. Barbara checks in on on YouTube from Atlanta. And then Donna's here from Kentucky. Looks like we have Cheryl from Virginia. Good evening to you. Susan checks in from California. Good evening. Let's see. Betty from Idaho is here over on YouTube. Let's see. Kathleen checks in from Southern Maryland. Diane's here. Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Christy checks in. Colette checks in from Long Island. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Keith is here. Woohoo! Always good to see Keith. Lisa checks in from Minnesota. Good evening to you. Rockford, Illinois. Coletta checks in. Lori's here. Just got in from dinner and drinks. I'm thinking you meant to type drinks. Maybe you had one too many. Billy, good evening to you, sir. Hope all is well. Looking forward to seeing you as well. Man, it's funny. There's quite a few of you that are going to be here in November, so I think that's kind of exciting. Very cool. I know of at least 4 people, Billy, that are in this community that are going to join us at the gala. So that's kind of cool. Kind of cool. Let's see. Diana's here. Got you. Amy says hello, everyone. DC in 2 weeks. I know. I'm looking forward to it. I have got to book my airline ticket. I have my to-do list is overwhelmed. I've got to finish my presentation. That's coming up soon. I got to get that presentation done. I got to book my airfare. I got to book my hotel. Got to let you guys know when and where I'm going to be on Saturday morning. I got to do that, and then I have to do some other stuff for that. I mean, I have a lot to do. I'm hoping tomorrow I can get some of it done, but the reality is it's probably going to be this weekend. I'll get caught up on all that. So that's the plan. Look for an email from me this weekend about what's going on next week. I get it on your guys' end. It makes it very difficult for you to plan as well. I apologize for that, but you know my deal is that I don't want you to be financially committed to something that I'm not financially committed to. So therefore, once I finally get locked in, that's when I finally share. If you can make it, great. If you can't, I fully understand. I want you to be there. I want you to hang out with us. But I understand that, sometimes not by me not giving you the details months and months and months out, it's harder and harder and harder for you guys to plan as well. I get that. I think that's better than the alternative. I think that's better than me saying, oh, by the way, I'm not coming. And then all of you have to cancel flights and that type of stuff. So rest assured, I am coming to DC. That absolutely is happening. And we will do something Saturday morning. I just don't know what yet until I get my flight arrangements and everything squared away. So very fun. Joy is here from Bellevue. Good evening to you. Keith checks in from New York City. Henderson, Kentucky. Julie's here. Bev is here. Soki. Good evening. Crazy Diane from New York. I always like seeing your dual names. Alice says hi from Phoenix. How are you tonight? I am doing great. It's a great day. Thursday is in the books. So my Thursday meeting is done. So now tomorrow is Friday. Friday is I'm sure as you are as well. I would say Friday is my favorite day of the week, but it's actually not anymore. Monday is my absolute favorite day of the week. So coming right up. But Friday is a close second. Oh, Wendy says got her dressed for the gala yesterday. So excited. Oh, I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see how beautiful you look. Very cool. Colette saying hi to Karen. Let's see. Laura from Ohio. Good evening to you. Travis from Missouri. Yep. Isn't driving at all. That's funny. And Wendy isn't driving. Got it. Jennifer checks in from Iowa. Good evening. I don't know how to pronounce that. Monongalia, Pennsylvania. Kim checks in. Never heard of that. Very fun. Deb checks in. Northwest Indiana. Good evening. Woo, good to see you as well. Let's see. Ohio checks in. Lynn says from Valley City, Ohio. Just got done with the workout at Life Fit is what it looks like. Lift 4 looks like. Sometimes you guys use all these terms I've never even heard of. Kathleen checks in from Pennsylvania. Lori says it's our 10-year anniversary. Let's see. Alice got you. Diane says first meeting as a wellness guide went well. Very cool. Yeah. Tonight I was a wellness coach, right? That's the new term for leader is we are now wellness coaches and wellness guides. So kind of fun. Totally unrelated, but hopefully you guys got the new updated version of the WW app. Can't say that anymore. If you got the new version of the WW app, hope you got that. Just a little side note there. Jamie says, I'm here to say hi between commercials. Yeah, I know the Patriots are on. They're playing the Colts. Very fun. Jeannie, woohoo, good to see you. Got your email today. Thank you. I will get you my slides this quickly. I know you want them. I know you want to compile them. It's on my list. I can show you my list if that would help. Can we insert instead of Mike's slides, we say, here's Mike's to-do list? Does that fly? I'm not sure if that flies or not, but I have no real plans this weekend. So this weekend is a catch-up weekend, and all of my DC travel, DC hotel, DC slides. I have to finish doing all of my bio. Man, this speaking stuff's a lot of work. I just want to show up and talk. I didn't want to prepare. I don't ever prepare for anything. Oh boy. Oh, fun. Laura checks in from Dublin, Ohio. Jill is over on Instagram. Good evening to you. Judy says, I get that. Just wanted to figure out north, south, east, or west. Want to reserve something convenient. The intent is there is Roosevelt Park. There is a walk that morning. That's my hope. But it's not a sanctioned event. So I emailed the event organizer. I haven't heard anything back from them. But that's my intent, is to be as close to the monuments as possible. I'll give you that. That's my intent. So we'll see. We'll see how that shakes out. So, but I will get an email out to you this weekend. I promise you that. The cool thing about hotels, usually hotels, you can make multiple reservations and cancel them a day out or 2 out. So keep an eye on that. Plane tickets, not so much. Janice checks in from Bloomington. Kathleen says, "What is the gala?" So yeah, probably I'm mixing nonprofits here, and I apologize for those of you who may be confused. So for the state of Indiana, I manage a nonprofit here for the state of Indiana called the Folds of Honor Foundation. I manage the Indiana chapter, so it's a nationwide nonprofit. I'm the president of the Indiana chapter. We raise money for children and spouses of our fallen and disabled military members. We convert that money to scholarships. And so I do a lot of golf events. You've probably seen that. I do a lot of golf events. We do some boxing events. And at the end of the year, we culminate our entire year into a fundraising gala. It's November 3rd here in Indiana. So coincidentally, there truly are about 5 or 6 people from this community who have, through whatever channels, figured it out, and they will be at the gala. So it's kind of like things are starting to merge in weird places. So kind of neat. But that's the gala, Kathleen. Thanks for asking. Terry checking in from Vero Beach. Woohoo! Good to see you. I'd love to be at Vero Beach right now. I see Robin checking in from Dayton, Ohio. My favorite song about Dayton, Ohio is Harry Chapin song, right? About Mr. Tanner. You guys heard that? Mr. Tanner was a cleaner from a town in the Midwest, and of all the cleaning shops around, he'd made his the best. But he also was a baritone. Hey, Pam is here. Teresa is here from Puyallup. Good evening to you. Jill from New York. Good evening. Jill, I need to get your email address because I was supposed to make an introduction for you and I lost your email address. So shoot me an email with your email address. I probably have it somewhere. Make it easy on me. And then I will forward it on to the place it's supposed to go. Let's see. Dana is here from Stockton, California. Let's see. Joan is here. Very good. Hello, Joni Baloney from Green, Ohio. Very fun. Joni Baloney. Kathy says hi. Motivation Man, Kathy from Michigan. Not too far. Let's see. Joyce is here. Glad to catch you live. Glad you're here live. Patricia from Bloomington. Hello. Robin's here. Kathleen is a WW Wellness Coach too, but no app update. Android's rolling slower. Yeah, I saw that as well. A lot of Android folks didn't get the actual update yet, so too bad. Jill says, any way to get rid of the request to be in video square? I can't see you real well. I don't know. Okay, good. You figured it out. Got it. I don't know. I could probably call my child in and ask her how to help me with Instagram, but but if you got it, we're good. Let's see. Kristen Smith says, Lauren saying hi to Kristen, got it. Danielle from Nebraska. Jeannie says, you are the least of my worries. Well, thank you. Well, I still have to get an airplane and a hotel. I don't have either of those yet. And I got to figure out how to submit them. I read the information on how to do it, but I didn't read it detailedly. So I have to figure out where I'm supposed to stay and all that stuff. Maybe I'll call you tomorrow and we'll talk through it. I don't know. Dun, 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 dun. Amy says she earned 20 wins today. Very nice. Me too. There it is. Let's see. I think I did. Let's see. I tried this the other day. It doesn't show up on the phone, right? Let's see. Yep. Look at that. You can't really see it, but I don't know how to make it so it's. Anyway, you can kind of see it. Yep, I got them as well. Lori's here. Got it. Amy from Omaha checking in. Marcia says, "Where's Janine?" She's over there watching the Patriots game. Let's see. Got it. Okay, let's go on. Kind of skip ahead a little bit. Kathleen sent one that starts in Freedom Plaza as close to the monuments. It is, but that one was $40 a person to register. The one I was looking at was free for everyone to register. So that's my preference. It'll be one of those two things is the plan. Yep. So thank you. Keith says many hotels have a 48-hour cancellation policy. Right, but 48 hours is still not, you could book it now and cancel next week and you're still fine. That's what I'm saying. And you're right. Keith, you're a travel agent. I do need a travel agent. I need someone to do all this stuff for me. Alicia says, hello, me and the hubby, Jimmy here. He's down 12 pounds already. Awesome. Way to work it, man. I'm sure you guys are both killing it. Very cool. Very, very cool. Jill says, take care of it, Keith. I agree. Alicia is 4-year wedding anniversary, and you're watching this. Awesome. Awesome. Let's see. Scrolling through. Heather checking in from Philly. Jamie says touchdown pass 20-3. When I left, it was 14-3. So very cool. I like it. Let's see. Bay Area. Terry checking in 21-3. Very cool. And Anna's checking in from Tallahassee. All right. So. Yeah, Vicky, it's funny. She said loved Harry Chapin, still love his music. Me too. It's one of the, I'm not saying one of the first musics I heard, but I remember early on hearing a lot of his stuff and just being like, this is just cool music. So I donated to the Harry Chapin Foundation years ago. It's funny, I didn't know he had passed tragically, and so I was listening to his music and I felt compelled to reach out, and somehow I Googled it and I learned that he had passed. And I was devastated in that sense, and so I made a little donation to his foundation. Barbara from Indiana, good evening. Let's see. All right, let me go. How do you update the iPhone app for WW? If you go, it's the same way you update all of your apps. You go into your app store and click on the update button, and it updates the current apps. So if it may take a day or two for your system to recognize there's an update out there, you could delete the app and reinstall it. I don't ever bother with that. I just wait for the app to know that there's a new version out there. The new version's out there, so it just may take a day for your system to see it. California, Paula's checking in. Very cool. Lynn said had to click the 3 dots on the Android in the Play Store to update it. Yep. Let's see. All right, let's do. Are you guys ready for this? Keith finally has the Android app. Gotcha. Kathleen says money is an issue, I suppose. I'm not sure what that is in reference to, but Franny says, I'm walking around here and Rebecca is watching you. I have the headphones on, so she has no idea what you're saying, but she's learning. Ah, funny. Mark says, I'll catch this one later. I'm not caught. That's okay, Mark. They don't go in order. I mean, they go in order sequentially, but it's not like a story where it's not like a story where it's you have to listen sequentially. You can listen to any order you want. Donna says, I wonder if you get extra points if you attend a second workshop in a week. I do not believe that is the case. I have not confirmed that, but I do not believe that is the case. Let's see. Oh, it looks like a lot of you are getting the Android, so that's good. Angela from Indiana just got home from work. Welcome. Good to see you. All right. So let's see. I'm scrolling through. Hopefully I'm not. Nebraska, stop on the international tour. We can do that. I think that sounds fun. Tyndall, woohoo! Michael, dude, awesome. Michael's from Tyndall met his goal. So way to work it, man. Proud of you. I need to. Am I getting to Tyndall? My brother's at Tyndall. I'm coming to Tyndall in December. I'll be at Tyndall. FYI. This is as much as I can tell you. Oklahoma Panhandle. Helen checks in. Nebraska is the most centrally located state. Not for me. Jeff's checking in from Rock Hill, South Carolina. A little late. No, you're right on time. You're right on time. Oh, gotcha, Kathleen. Got it. Yeah. So I mean, I don't mind paying $40 for a race, but if I can find a free one, I'd much rather find a free one for everyone. Jill says, love the idea of being able to donate in the rewards section. Feels like WW has outdone themselves. Yeah, it's exciting. I think the changes. I think the changes are good. So I like them. So it's going to be kind of fun to see. All right, so let's skip it around. All right, cool. Got it all. So let's do episode 225. Let's do that. Let's get that rolling. Shall we? There we go. Cool. Mike, check, testing. I always got to remember to record it, right? The other day, remember the other day, what was it, 2 or 3 episodes ago, forgot to record it. Crazy. Glenda, hello, over on YouTube. Good evening to you. Sarah's here. Bev says, passed up on the nachos at work today. Friend said it wouldn't hurt to have some. She's right, but it also doesn't hurt to have none. Look, I have put record right on the top of my thing. Press record. So it's going to remind me to press record when it's time to press record. But yes, if I start talking and I haven't, from now on, here's what I'll do. I will tell you when I hit the record button so that you know, but if you don't hear it and I started, you just need to keep telling me to record it and we'll start all over. But for now, get your water ready. Let's get this show started. Ready? Cheers. And then we'll record. I'll record now. I like to record the pop sounds. They sound so fun. All right, we're officially recording, so I don't need any more reminders. It's officially going. Let's go get this thing done. Facebook will like this noise. Ready? Ready? Cheers. That one was, look how cold that bottle is. See it? I forgot to take it out a little earlier, so I got a little bit of a brain freeze going. Woo! All right, episode 225. Are you ready? I'm ready. I am ready. All right, let's do this. I don't think I need my glasses anymore. Here we go. Recording. Let's see. We are recording, so that's good to go. How many ounces? I don't know. I bet you it's 12 to 16 anyways. I'll have to measure it later. I don't know. Here we go. 1, 2. I am your host, Fat Dag. You're listening to Wise Advice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at fatdag.com and follow along on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at WhysAdvice. Send in your comments, your questions, your celebrations. I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, hello there. Welcome to episode 225 of Wise Advice. Always good to hang out with you guys on a nice Thursday evening here live. Right now, the Patriots and Colts are battling it out, but all of you guys decided that you wanted to hang out here instead, and I think that's awesome, and that's what I want to do as well. So, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching the show live. Thank you for being a part of this. If you're not catching it live, I encourage you to do so. Twitter is the best way to find out. Go to Twitter, follow the Wise Advice account on Twitter. I send a tweet out every time that we do a live show, so you know exactly when the show is going to be. You get a 15-minute warning. You get an on-the-minute warning that the show has gone live. That is the best way to find out when and where the next episode is going to be. Certainly, you could visit fatdag.com. The website stays current with the next show date as well. But you can find the app all over the place. You can find the information everywhere, and certainly you can find the podcast wherever you can find podcasts, whether it be Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher Radio, or of course my favorite, in your app store. Look for Wise Advice with Fat Dag. Hopefully that's the best way you're listening. That's the best way I found as well. So thanks for being here. I want to open the show with Diane's email. Diane says, well, it took me believing in my 7-year-old granddaughter to bring me to an aha moment. Yesterday, I got to her soccer game to hear, "This is the worst day ever" attitude. I had a teachable moment with her. I told her at any point in the day she could make a decision to say, "Good morning," and start fresh. I told her she had the power to turn this around by going out and putting her heart into the game. Once her parents saw her trying so hard, they might lighten up. Instead of kicking dirt around when the ball was on the other side of the field, she jumped up. She cheered on her teammates and played her little heart out, approaching the ball instead of letting it roll to her. She had a bounce in her step. At halftime, the coaches and parents were praising her, and she was beaming. By the end of the game, the team's electricity was amazing. Walking her to the car, I told her she'd made a difference to everyone out there because she turned her attitude around. A parent from the other team overheard me and came over to my granddaughter and told her how much he admired her. I went to kiss her goodbye, and I told her how I knew she could do it. She had the biggest toothless smile I'd ever seen, and I got the tightest hug ever. I got in the car, and I started crying tears of joy for her, then for me. It hit me like a ton of bricks. The words popped into my head. I believe in you. I believed in her, and the more I saw her empowered by my words, the more I realized I was talking to myself too. I can do this. I have the power to change my attitude and believe in myself. I can do this. I can go after the prize and not passively wait for it to roll to me. I witnessed the impact a shift in a perspective had in that precious 7-year-old, and she inspired me. So, Mike, I get it when you say, I believe in you. When you say, I believe in you until you can believe in yourself, if you feel 1/10 of the excitement and pride I felt in watching that little girl believe in herself, then you are one very rich man, my friend. Wow to the lives you've changed by believing in yourself and others. I feel like Jimmy Stewart at the end of It's a Wonderful Life. Today, I believe in myself. I believe in you, and I believe in all of my fellow wingmen. We can change our world. I can change my world. I can do it. Diane. Diane, you are absolutely correct. That's it. And sometimes we oversimplify in this, right? And you've heard everyone say, it's going to be a good day or a bad day. It's up to you. You can change your attitude anytime you want. All of that stuff we know is true. It absolutely is true. And your email summarizes it perfectly. And when I read your email, it kind of gave me a little bit of a chill because I understand exactly what you experienced and witnessed. You are absolutely right. And when I watch folks, every single one of you, when I watch all of you turn your day around, turn your life around, and you give the podcast credit as one of your tools, I feel that. I really do. And it makes me want to continue doing this more than anything, because what I need you all to understand is exactly what you just got to experience. Witnessing the impact and as someone shifts their perspective. Watching that firsthand when that aha moment is delivered and someone else sees it, it is incredibly powerful. But more importantly than that, it's just awesome to watch somebody else finally believe in themselves. So I mean it when I say I 100% believe in you. And the reason I got to that point was because I didn't believe in myself early on. And as I watched other people have success, I started thinking, well, that person isn't more talented than me. They're not smarter than me. They're not they're not any better at this than me. We're probably equal in that sense. They're better at some things. I'm better at some things, but there isn't a hands down that person is phenomenal and I'm not. There was I think we're probably equal. And so if that person could do it, well, why couldn't I? And as I did it, I realized I'm not all that. There's nothing special about me. I work too many hours. I have too many to-do lists on my tasks. My to-do list grows longer than it gets crossed off. There are things that I'm not getting done on certain days that need to get done. I'm a regular person living a regular life, and I did it. And I continue to do it. And so that's what makes me believe in you, is that as I realized it didn't take a superpower to do this. What it took was someone believing in me. And what it took was me shifting my attitude and shifting my focus and eliminating things from my life that were not helping me get to my journey. If you started your day and you start every single journey with this is the worst day ever, you're going to prove yourself right, because no one likes to be wrong. It doesn't matter whatever your belief is, you don't want to be wrong with that. You stay true to your convictions because you believe them. So if you wake up saying this is the worst day ever, you're going to try and find everything throughout the course of the day to prove yourself right. It's just as simple to do the opposite. It's just as simple for you to say, this is the best day ever. And as soon as you do that, you start looking for opportunities to make it the best day ever, because, like I said, you want to prove yourself right. Now you can certainly wake up that way in the morning, but at any point during the day, you have the option to reset as well. And if you reset the mind first, the body does a really good job to try and then say, I want to just continue doing this. So witnessing her, completely changing her mindset, putting that bounce in her step, that was you believing in her, and she saw that. And so, as parents were praising her, and as the team was praising her, and the electricity started to build, that's what this community is doing. It's such a parallel. When you post on Connect, when you post in the Wise Wingman Facebook group, and you say, I'm down 5 pounds, and so many people comment and congratulate you, it feels good. And you want to get more of it. And so that's what we're building here. We're building such an amazing, supportive community that everyone just wants to praise each other. And as we continue to praise each other, we kind of feel good because now when I tell you you're doing good, I feel good about telling you some good stuff about you. You feel good about hearing it, and then you feel good about sharing that with somebody else. So this email is perhaps, I probably say this too often, but This email is perhaps one of my most favorite emails because it has nothing to do with weight loss. This has everything to do with your mind and your attitude. This has everything to do with how you approach the day. This has everything to do with how you approach every single situation. If you approach it with hope, and if you approach it with an I can do this attitude, you will. It's that simple. You will. And that's what I want to convey in here is so, you know this is possible. That's the one benefit we all have in this process is we're not trying to do something that is impossible. You know, when you start watching other people do things, the very first person to prove something right, they had it the hardest because they had to go against a complete unknown and do something that no one else has ever done before. And, lots of criticism along the way, lots of failed attempts, but they had to keep going. We have the opportunity now to follow in the footsteps of some great people who've done this. So we don't have to wonder if it's possible. We simply have to shift our attitude to know that it's possible, to know that we can do it, and just believe in yourself. And truly, it's okay if you're not there yet. I want you to attempt to get there, but in the interim, I will believe in you up until the point where it's time for you to say, Mike, I now believe in myself. And when you do that, and you send an email just like this, you can change your world. You can change everything about it, and you can do it. So, Diane, thank you for this amazing opening to episode 225. I really, really, really appreciate your email, what you've shared, what you've witnessed, and then, like I said, taking the time to put it in paper is incredibly valuable. And I'm sure all the listeners now will chime in as well and say, yes, it was. And so thank you, Diane, again, for writing that in. Next up, out of California, Sunnyvale, California, Stephanie writes in, says, Dear Fat Dag, I just wanted to open this email letting you know it's me, not you. I'm sorry I had to break up with you for a little while. Well, your podcast. I had to shut down all doors of communication, even to the Connect family, and focus my energy inward. Without ridicule, without condemnation, I did what I do best, without even knowing it. I shut everyone and everything out, turned off the lights, and I went dark. My 7-year-old son has been having some medical issues, and it's come with consequences for me. We're still awaiting answers, and it's been a very trying and emotional path to walk down. He has days where he seems to be on the mend, and then seems to regress. As a mom, this is heavy on my heart. I felt like all the slices of the mommy, wife, daughter, worker pie were all gone. I haven't even had a chance to have a slice. I hit my 10% goal and I started to gain it back. I'm tracking again most days, becoming a little more active on Connect again and slowly and shakily getting my footing back. I found that focusing on myself has brought about much guilt while trying to take care of a sick child. I am still working full-time and trying my hardest to work out even when I don't feel like it. I have blown a lot of my blue dots out of the water, but I'm trying to talk myself back into caring about points again. I lost my motivation, my mojo, my whys. I feel like I stopped caring about me and I've lost myself in this hazy, unknown medical lingo. Maybe in an effort to self-preserve and have enough for my kids, I had to close the doors. I know I have to be in good health to take care of them, but a part of me is just tired. I'm tired of fighting my natural inclination to overeat. I had to fall apart into a tiny million pieces to see this. I pray a lot and for many people, and lately my prayers have been for my son, my kids, my husband, and my sanity. The journey hasn't been easy. Change is hard. Stagnation and self-sabotage is easy. Staying overweight is safe and doesn't expose me to myself, my innermost critic, and fears. I think part of what scares me is that I won't recognize myself anymore after I lose the weight. I don't want to become a gym rat. And I feel selfish working out on the weekends. It's usually the only time I have when the little ones are begging me for my time. Planning, tracking, weighing, cooking, multiple meals has sort of taken the wind out of my sails. There, I said it. It's silly, isn't it? Ultimately, I think that I'm scared that I might not be the same person after I meet my goal. Well, today I fired up your podcast app, I picked up where I left off, and I worked my way backwards. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for your gift of finding the good in people's and their situations and turning their negative talk into positive wins. I wish I had this gift. Thank you for being the constant, chipper, and kind soul that you are. Your family is truly lucky to have you, as are all of us. I look forward to meeting you in November in San Francisco. FYI, I got my WhysAdvice blue shirt, and I'm strangely excited about wearing it on that morning of our 5K run. Maybe there is hope for me yet. Thank you, Stephanie. Stephanie, I get this email. I get it. I mean, I want to start there. I get it. When you, one of the hardest things in this journey for all of us, and I've done it as well many times, is we get to the point where we're just overwhelmed, and the easiest thing for us to do is to shut down. And so as we do that, we go dark. We quit posting on Connect. We quit reading on Connect. We quit, we unsubscribe from newsletters. I get, I have an email newsletter on my website, and I get probably, I don't know, every once in a while, I get 2 or 3 people subscribe a day, sometimes more, and then I get one every once in a while that unsubscribes. And I know when someone unsubscribes. So the interesting thing about my newsletter is I have not added a single name to it ever. Every single name on my newsletter is the person themselves added their name because at a point in their journey, they wanted more. Now, maybe the email didn't live up to their expectation, but the email on my end isn't anything more than just a reminder for you to wake up and go get it. That's all the email is. But I get people every so often that unsubscribe. And so I know that is them going dark, and I get that in a lot of ways. And so it's my greatest fear in this journey is that there are people that need to hear this message, and they have deliberately chosen to unplug. There's nothing I can do about that. There's nothing you can do that about. That is what we all, every single one of us, I would bet dollars to donuts on that. Every single one of us who have walked this journey at some point during it, we've unplugged. We've withdrawn. We have shut this side of our life down to either take care of something else that's going on, or to then reframe our mind, or just not care. We've all done it. And so as we sit here and try and now refocus, I'm proud of you for writing the email, because your email to me tells me that you're not completely unplugged. I get that you're now coming back into it, but mentally you're ready. And I'm proud of you for taking a moment to write that down. And so I would encourage any of you, as you're on that verge of the mental unplug and the disconnect, I don't know how to ask you to stop. I don't know how to tell you to say, hey, come to the community and let someone know, because I promise you, someone else has unplugged or wants to unplug. So simply come into the community and say, hey, folks, I'm thinking of unplugging, help. And I get also that could be overwhelming as well, because the love and support you will get from our community may drive you out as well, because sometimes you're just not ready to hear the message. I understand that. And so, when you come through this process and you say, I found that focusing on yourself brings about much guilt while trying to take care of your sick child, working full time, trying your hardest to work out, even when you don't feel like it, you've got a lot going on. And you didn't share the diagnosis, and nor do I need you to, but what I need you to understand is that I'm here for you, and our community is here for you, and everything you have going on, I have to put faith and trust in our community, and then in of course the medical community as well, to know that we're going to get this. We're going to get the best care possible. We're going to make sure we do everything right. We're going to take care of it. And so my heart breaks for you as you have to now go through this, but I want you to know you're not going through it alone. That's the important piece in this journey, is that when you unplug, you feel like you're alone and you unplug. And what I'm encouraging you to do is to not unplug and let us walk with you. We're not asking for the details, and none of us are going to be able to provide the answer that's going to solve all of your problems. But what it is we're just going to continue to remind you that everything you have going on, someone else has something similar going on as well, and they found a way to make it work. You hit your 10%. I want to celebrate that for just a moment, because that's an amazing accomplishment. No matter how you did it, no matter when you did it, you did it. So you have the mental proof to know that you can do this. That's the beautiful part of this journey. Physically, you are physically capable, mentally capable of doing it. Now, how do we juggle it into the current situation? That certainly is something that we have to figure out. But when you start now making a shift, and I want you to make a shift to, still working full time, trying your hardest to work out, even on the days you don't. Working out for you. I want you to just kind of reframe that concept. Working out does not mean isolation. Working out does not mean you have to hop in the car, drive to the gym all by yourself, work out, and then come home. There are things you can do that would probably incorporate the entire family that qualify as moving more. And again, not knowing the diagnosis, but going for just a family evening walk and pushing a stroller, pushing a wagon, pushing a bike or something. If it's activity you're doing together, that's better and different than completely withdrawing, thinking that the only opportunity you have to work out is an actual workout that you're doing by yourself. I want you to fight through this. I understand that you're tired of fighting this natural inclination to overeat. I get it. And so one of the processes through this journey is that you have to completely change your life. I understand that, and I know you understand that as well. But what I mean by that is you have to get to the point where you are not fighting. And so it's a mental shift. I don't want you to use the term fighting, but you have to now build habits as you go through this process, and those habits now turn into things that you just naturally do. And so if you are, I say this is kind of weird, and I'm going to say this publicly, and this is going to it's going to catch some of you off guard. I said this in my meeting room not long ago, and I can tell as soon as I said it that it's going to take some explaining. And I think I may have said it on the podcast as well before. But if you're going through this journey, and in your head you're thinking something along the lines of, man, I can't wait to get to goal, because when I get to goal, I am going to eat this. And if I can make it to goal, I'm going to have this. And when I get to goal, I'm going to do this. If you are thinking along those terms about food and maybe exercise, then what I want you to do, and you gotta bear with me for a second, but I want you to do is I want you to do it now. If you're in that mindset where you're saying, I can't wait to get to goal so I can have ice cream again, just as an example, then go have it now. Have it in a controlled manner, portion it out, figure out where the points are, stay on the plan, and have it. And enjoy it. Because what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to feel like you're fighting yourself every single day that you're tempted to have it. And so the inclination to overeat, it's real for every single one of us. And it does take some ability and some willpower now for you to figure out how to do this in moderation. But the flip side is if you don't figure that out, then you will tire easily of the fight of that natural wanting to eat. And so I want you now to find a way to make a healthy habit, either get through this as a healthy alternative or completely rid it from your life forever. If you can do that, that's fine. I've done that with soda. I said, I'm done with soda. I don't fight it. I don't want it. I have no desire to have it. I went from 12 a day to 0. But if I'm now thinking, someday I'm going to have it again, then I need to figure out how to do it in moderation and get through it. Building healthy habits is what I'm asking you to do. And so the other piece of your email that I completely resonate with, when you said planning, tracking, weighing, cooking multiple meals, it's sort of the taking the wind out of your sail. There, you said there, I said it, it's silly, isn't it? No, it's actually not silly. I think everybody who's gone through this journey could use that exact quote, and so it does get tiring if we're treating this as a temporary issue. I get it, and so as you, I'll kind of give you a little more here is I go through this even now as we go through this, today's a perfect example. I get up early morning. I was late for my. I go to the gym on Thursdays. I was late for my gym appointment. And I could have blown it off. I literally, here's the example. My gym time. I was supposed to be at the gym with my trainer at 7:20. 7:20 in the morning is my Thursday morning gym time with my trainer. It's a 20-minute workout. It's intense. It's 20 minutes straight. There's no break. We go, full speed for 20 minutes. This morning, I woke up and my wife was leaving for work, and I said, what time is it? She said it's 7:20. I'm still in bed. The dog got up early in the morning, whatever excuse I had. I was still asleep at 7:20. I got up, and what I said to myself was, man, I like doing that. So I got as quick as I've ever gotten dressed in my life. I drove to the gym, and I got there at, I think, 7:33. I'm 13 minutes late for a 20-minute meeting. But my habit tells me I love doing this, and I wanted to do it. So I did whatever I could to get there, and he put me through the ringers for the good, for maybe almost 15 minutes instead of 20 today, and it was great. That's how I started my day. I started the day off, but I love doing that. And then I go to work a full day. I end up doing a Weight Watcher, a WW workshop all evening. Come home, sit on the couch, work an episode, and then here we are now. Yeah, there are days where, I'm tired as well. But I love what I do. I love this healthy habits that we build. I love the results of all the work I put in that deliver to me and to the community, and it makes it all worth it. So the reason I share all that with you is a little bit of a ramble, but I share all that with you because you have to find the things in your life, in your journey, that reward you. That reward you for real. Not a fake reward where you're just doing it to get some sort of superficial reward. You have to find an internal reward that drives you to want to do all of this. Taking care of your son should be that internal reward, and that working out and planning and weighing and tracking, cooking, all that stuff is the joy that it brings you, is the opportunity to live a happy, healthy life with your family in the best way that you can at this point. All those things add up to success. And so yeah, it sounds easy to say, I just want to be done with that. But as you build the healthy habits, that just becomes your new life. And so at the end, there's nothing to be scared of, is that you won't be the same person when you meet your goal. What you're really going to be is you're going to be the person that you've always wanted to be. You're going to be the person that your family really needs. And in your life, I don't think I've met too many people that finally get to healthier and to goal that wish their old life back. So yeah, your life does change, but it changes for the better. And I want to caution it because my life was really good before. If you would have asked me how to improve my life, I wouldn't have thought it was really possible. And then when I did, it was like, oh, okay, wow, that's interesting. So keep doing all that you're doing. And so continue on, do your best in this scenario. I'm going to talk about that coming up in the next email, but you got this. And what you're going through, we can get through it. We can work through it. Lean on the community. Let us get there. But certainly unplugging is not the answer. This is not a journey you need to walk alone. There's no reason for you to walk alone. And just like you, I look forward to meeting you in November, wrapping my arms around you, giving you a big hug, and saying, welcome. Of course, wearing the 5K Fat Dag shirt will be kind of fun. It makes it easier for us to spot each other. But I'm looking forward to that. And no, there is absolutely hope for you. There's hope for you, Stephanie, and the fact that you've taken the time to document it lets me know exactly where you are mentally, and we just now build on that and add to your success and get it done. So, Stephanie, thank you. We will see you in San Francisco in November. I'm looking forward to that a ton. Next up, this email comes in, I'm going to say anonymously. Obviously, email doesn't come in anonymously, but they'd asked to have their name redacted, so I won't share. But I want to share the email because I think it was very powerful as well. It says, "Hello, Fat Dag. I've been listening to your podcast now for a couple of months. I'm working backwards, so I haven't listened to the most recent episodes, but I can't wait to get there. Today, I was overcome with thoughts about this journey so far, and I needed to get them out of my head. Here's a little background. When I was in my 20s, it was easy to be healthy. I didn't worry about what I ate. I grew up dirt poor in an abusive home. There was not a lot of food, and the food that was there centered around beans, rice, and sometimes hamburger. It turns out that, coupled with an intense list of chores, marching band rehearsals, and staying busy, well, that's a pretty solid plan for maintaining a healthy weight. Well, okay, and a pretty high metabolism. This way of life lasted well into my late 20s, even as I started a teaching career and got married. As my situation improved, my husband and I prepared to start our family. I put on a little bit of weight, but nothing to worry about. I was still busy, and my eating was fairly mindful. We bought a house, started planning financially for the future, all of those things that you're supposed to do, and then it came the upset. I was diagnosed with unexplained infertility. It was frustrating, sad, painful. It weighed on my mind and my heart every single day for 8 years. But my husband and I did what you're supposed to do. We kept going. I started infertility treatments, those that we could afford. I was told that the drugs might make me gain weight. So I gained a little bit of weight, and I just didn't fight it because I was told that weight gain was a possibility. I just let go. The drugs didn't work for me. Insurance didn't cover infertility, but it did cover surgery for another condition, and my doc used that opportunity to look for more and more answers for my husband and I. There were no answers. Finally, I received a phone call from a relative. She said, "Your cousin's baby is in the care of Children's Services. Can you come and pick her up and take her home? Maybe forever?" My heart dropped into my stomach. I called my husband crying. We took a couple of days to work through the answer to that question. The answer seemed obvious at first. Wasn't this the answer to our prayers? Wasn't this the way we were supposed to start a family? But it also came with difficult questions. What if it didn't work out? Can we live knowing that this baby that we would fall in love with might be living somewhere else in less than a loving situation? My cousin wasn't giving this baby up. The situation was being forced on her based on decisions that she had made with her life. What if she got herself together and Children's Services said that this baby had to go back? That was not how we wanted to start our family. But the idea of getting to love, care, and nurture a child was overpowering. We said yes, and we started the wildest roller coaster that either of us had ever ridden. To keep this story short as I can, I will skip to the end. It was hard. We brought home a beautiful baby girl and instantly became her mommy and daddy. It was the best feeling in the world, and it was the scariest. There were many times that we thought she would have to leave us forever. Both my husband and I ate our emotions, the good and the bad. We celebrated the high points with food. We languished in the low points, also with food. There were arranged biological parent visits and court dates and home inspections every month. My husband maintained his workout regimen. I did not. My weight spiraled up, and I didn't care because the only thing that mattered was keeping our family together. And we did. We adopted our daughter after 2.5 years of waiting. We did it. And now, 2 years later, we are finally able to wrap our heads around our health. I joined Weight Watchers at the end of May, and I've been incredibly successful. I reached goal at the beginning of September, and I'm working my way towards lifetime. My husband's eating habits have fallen in line with mine, and he has lost a lot of weight too. By the way, he's the most supportive person I know. He is the preparer of our meals, and he prepares them for both of our success. I'm even inspiring others with my weight loss. It's such a good feeling to be able to help others reach their goals. I've used all of the tools out there to become this best version of myself, and I'm so happy to be able to share them with my family and even others. Your podcast is one of the best tools I've stumbled upon. I don't even remember where I heard about it, but I'm so glad that I did. Thank you for helping our family make this journey toward health. I would like all of your listeners to know that no matter what their story, situation, emotional state, health, they can turn it around. It doesn't have to be in the midst of the chaos. It might have to wait until you're able to wrap your head around focusing on your own health. I wish everyone that good focus. But before that, kindness. I was not kind to myself at times during the chaos. I had moments where I thought about my weight gain and lack of activity and chastised myself for it. I gave up on myself several times before joining Weight Watchers. It wasn't until I found the time and the mental help away from the chaos to focus on being kind to myself that I was able to be successful in losing the weight. Again, thank you for all you do for this community, Fat Dag. But by believing in all of us before we were able to believe in ourselves, you help us pull out of the chaos, realize our sense of self-worth, and commit to the focus required to be the prize. Sincerely, name redacted. Wow, if that doesn't help sum this entire journey up, I think this is a great wrap up to this show, is that there's a lot going on. Every single one of us have things in our life and our past that certainly we can allow to get in the way. We can allow that to hinder us, or we can then accept it, do our best in the scenario, and move on. And that's what I was trying to get to earlier, is that there are going to be things we're absolutely going to have to work through. The chaos absolutely can be so defeating, and while you're in the midst of the chaos, you have to rely on those healthy habits and routines at least a little bit to carry you through. And when the dust starts to settle, when you start getting into this new routine amidst the chaos, you'll start recognizing routines are now becoming patterns. And when you recognize that, that's the time to make the shift and do it. Congratulations through all this and reaching goal. That's the best part of your emails, that you actually did it. I love your family story, and I think you have an amazing heart yourself, and to be able to reach in and save this young girl's life and be mommy and daddy for her. What an amazing gift that you've given back, and now that the gift that keeps on giving is that now you've focused, both of you, on your health to ensure that the role that you've taken on willingly is something that you can do and honor perfectly by being the best version of you that you can be. I want to go back all the way to the beginning of your email, and that your early life in your 20s, where it was easy to be healthy. And so that's the danger part of our life, right? So when we're young in our life, we do have this metabolism that kicks in, because we're not sitting around nearly as much as we are later in adulthood. And so marching band practice and gym practice and school practice, just simple being in high school, you're putting in more steps than the average high schooler probably gets way more steps than the average adult, because they're the passing periods that there's a lot of travel that happens by just being in school. So when you have that, and chores and there's so much going on in your young life, plus your body's in a different shape, your metabolism does pick up, and as we age, some of those activities decrease. So yeah, as we're younger, that's why it's even more important for our children to learn these healthy habits, because they're going to have to follow in our footsteps, in a sense where when their metabolism slows down, their lifestyle slows down, where they end up going to work all day and then coming home exhausted and not wanting to move. We need them to have healthy habits at that point to rely back on. So that's the number one reason why it's imperative that we get ourselves healthy, is so that we can pass on those healthy habits to them, rather than having to rely on what most of us had to do, was we had to then relearn it well into adulthood. So again, I do say congrats to both you and your husband for the incredible success that you've had. And I want to kind of summarize your entire email with the term that I got out of the book, The 4 Agreements. If you haven't read that book, I highly recommend it. I think it's my second favorite book in life. But there's a paragraph, and you've heard the cliche, right? The cliche is do better today than you did, or be better tomorrow than you were today, or whatever it is, something along those lines, right? And so the premise is that you always want to improve. You always want to improve. Well, there comes a reality in that where sometimes that's not possible, and that's okay. And if you set yourself up for, I always have to be better tomorrow than I was today, at some point it just isn't possible. And so if you believe in that notion, be better tomorrow than you were today, if you believe that and you're striving for that, you are setting yourself up for disappointment when chaos strikes. When something out of the ordinary comes to you, when something you weren't expecting comes in, and you're living by the mantra, I have to do better today than I did yesterday, it doesn't happen. So what I need you to understand is I need you to know that the reality is that you don't have to do better tomorrow. What you have to do is you have to do your best. In every single scenario, every single day you wake up, you take an assessment of where you are in relation to where you were yesterday, and you do your best in the current situation. That's what I'm asking for. That's what the book talks about, is that no matter what cards you're dealt, when you wake up and you were dealt a hand you weren't expecting from the night before, that is the day where you do your best in that scenario. And then as you start recognizing things are now normal or getting back into a routine, then you work to improve on them because all of the other things are staying constant. But when your life is changing around you and you're trying to do better, it's almost impossible to do that. So I'm giving you permission now to not do your best, to not improve upon your day every single day. What I'm asking you to do is do your best given the situation that you've woken up into, given the situation that was handed to you, given the situation that was forced upon you, whatever it is, I'm just asking you at that point to take that inventory and go, okay, how can I do the best at this point? And so the analogy I often use is a marathon runner, right? If a marathon runner goes out and sets a personal record today, runs their fastest marathon ever today, when they wake up in the morning, there's a good chance they can't do that again. At least not the next day. It may take them a month or two to get back into that routine where they can now get back into that groove and maybe set another record on top of that. That's what I want you to take from this. I want you to take from this is that you can handle everything that comes at you is coming at you for a reason. Everything that comes at you, you have the tools to manage and you have the resources to fight with. You have a family, you have a support system, you have whatever you have going with you into this. Use all of that and understand all of that is there for you and for your benefit. And it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to walk this journey with your fellow wingmen in the group or on Connect, wherever you are, in your own meeting room, whatever it takes. But that is what it takes, is for us to build this community of people with people who always understand what it is we're going through. You're never alone in this journey, and that's what we're trying to continue to display. And as we do that, we find amazing stories of people who have incredible lives that we wouldn't wish upon anyone, that get thrown to them, and they still find a way to get the goal. Incredibly inspiring. So thank you so much for sharing your story. It's an honor, and truly an honor to celebrate with you. And so I ask that now, is that what is that you're celebrating? I want to share your story on the air. I want you to go to fatdag.com, click on the WhysAdvice podcast link, send in your celebrations, your comments, your questions. I'm going to work them in as part of the show the best I can. I want you to email in the celebrations. I really want you to be proud of what you're doing. I want you to share everything you have going on, because when you share your story, someone else goes, that's my story too. And if they watch you succeed, it gives them hope that they can succeed as well. Well, that's going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goals and go after it. I wish you good focus. Stop. There we go. Just as I know there are only so many political rants one can endure. I don't do political stuff. Whew. Glenda, thank you. Thank you. Instagram, I wasn't even paying attention. We lost Instagram about an hour into it. This was a long episode. We're at 65 minutes. Whew. Yeah. Oh, so you guys, I see what you guys are talking on about Facebook and yeah, you're right. I don't get involved in any of the Facebook political stuff. It never, and I've never seen anyone on Facebook. You know what? You're right. After me and you arguing back and forth, I agree with you. No one has done that, so I stay away from them. It doesn't do me any good. Vicky saying, thanks. You are very welcome. Donna says, I enjoyed the diversity on your email selections. Yeah, you guys send them in. I just read them. That's all I do. Let's see. Marcia's here. Terry's asking which 5K we're doing in San Fran. I don't have it 100% planned out right now, but looking at the race, the park run in Chrissy Park, that is the tentative plan. So if you register on fatdag.com, you will get an email out when I make that final decision and solidify my travel arrangements out to there. So I'm kind of excited. So when I put this this international tour together, I got to be honest with you, I didn't think I would hit them all. I thought at some point I was going to let somebody down and say, hey, I can't make this event for one reason or another. I have 2 left. And as of right now, DC is going to happen because the airfare has already been taken care of. So that's happening. And then San Francisco is the last one. And so I'm going to make that work. So that's pretty exciting. I'm thrilled that I was able to get out to different places. And so it makes me really want to go make a run for it in 2019 and do something really, really fun. So, whew. Diane says inspiring. Thank you. So are you. Yep. Yeah, Jeff, I got it now. I figured it out. Kay says name of the book is called The 4 Agreements. Don Miguel Ruiz is the author. Yep. Dana says registered for San Fran to cheer, not to run. Very cool. And so that's kind of what we do. I don't, May, you're not too late. You're just, you missed the show, but you're not too late. We'll hang out for a little bit. Yeah. So anyway, so when we do these races, the intent, you can either run, walk, cheer. I show up about an hour before the event. We do whatever, we walk as a group or whatever the group wants to do. And then after we hang out for as long. So whether you race, run, or cheer, doesn't matter. Just hang out and be a part of the group. It's kind of fun. Diane says, I think the book is The 4 Agreements. And that is, I don't know if I have it. Nope. This is my 4th quarter reading list. I set a goal this quarter to read 6 books. So these are the books that I'm reading in the 4th quarter. As I read them, I will tell you if they're good. But right now, The Noticer and The 4 Agreements, hands down, best 2 books. Yep, Karen says that. So, but cool. Yeah, long show tonight. That was, like I said, almost a 40-minute show. So that's going to be kind of fun. Give you something to listen to in the. Now, I'll give you a heads up. The next couple shows I'm working on. I'd asked you to go through the 5 questions, right? I'd said send in your the answers to the 5 questions. And the 5 questions is what are you expecting to get out of this journey? Do you believe you can do it? What's stopping you? What's in your way? What's the hardest thing you've ever done in your life? And what's the other one? I just had it. I may have already said it. Anyway, those 5 questions, I have those, is that I asked you to write in the answers to them. And so now what I'm going to do is I've got about a dozen of those emails that I'm going to start sharing. And so I haven't determined exactly how I want to do it. Part of me wanted to reach out to those folks specifically and talk to them through it on a podcast episode. Maybe we'll do that if I can figure that out. Otherwise, we'll kind of have it. Yeah, Donna says, who's responsible for your success? Right. And who's responsible? So anyway, so the next couple of podcasts will be that. I told you before it was coming. That's what the next focus will be, is that going through those 5 questions and walking through them with actual people who've written in. I think that'll be incredibly valuable for all of us. So that's the game plan there. So, all right. On that note, let me get this episode done. As you know, I did not sleep. I slept way too late this morning, so I would probably want to make sure I get to bed early tonight so I'm not late tomorrow. 2 days in a row, not good. So Janice, thank you for that. Janice says, we'll listen again tonight to this show. Hit home with me, so much going on. So Janice, after I hang up from here, I will get into, I'll take the show, put it on the computer behind me. It'll be in the app probably in the next hour. But it'll be on. You can always rewatch it on Facebook. You can watch it on YouTube. But it'll be in the app in about an hour. Is the plan. So cool. On that note, let's wrap this up. Thank you for being here. Always the highlight of my day to hang out with you guys, with real people who get it. It's different, right? It's different when you're with people who understand your journey. It's the coolest thing in the world. And I'm so grateful to have found this community, and I'm grateful that we built what we built. And so I appreciate you guys tuning in and wanting to be a part of it every single night. It's awesome. So on that note, thank you very much. Instagram will say goodbye to you first. May, good night. So we'll listen to the show again tomorrow. So you're welcome. So awesome. Instagram, good night. I wish you good focus. Bye-bye. And then we'll sign out on YouTube as well. I was trying to read some Facebook stuff as we go. So YouTube, good night. Thank you for being here. We will see you tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I don't know when we'll do the next show. Hopefully soon. I want to keep it. My intent always is to do it more often. So anyway, but on that note, it's time to go. I wish you a good focus. Good night.